everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV, and I like to try to take time to do some Q&A between RV videos, and a question I get all the time is basically, hey Josh, why do RVs cost more out west? And really, I think the quickest way to kind of give you a reference point is to answer that question with a question. Why does milk cost more in Hawaii? The fact is, it takes more effort to get it there. It takes more time, it takes more shipping, and that is one of the major influencing factors in variant pricing across the nation. Something a lot of people don't realize is that pricing is not standardized in RV shipping. So like my hometown store here in Coldwater, Michigan, like just looking at Bish's RV, I called my Jayco fifth wheel rep and I said, okay, let's look at something like an Eagle 321. It's a triple slide 35-foot fifth wheel that every manufacturer makes. So it's the most generic fifth wheel thing I could imagine. How much does that take to get to my Coldwater, Michigan store versus my other stores? And the results actually were far more widespread than even I expected. And what I discovered is, like, my hometown store here, it's so close to the factory that this store incurs absolute minimum freight charges. Basically, they have to just make sure that they can, pay the driver to get up, get out of bed, get their breakfast, and, put some fuel in their tank to help cover the expenses. And it's only, depending on the unit, somewhere between, say, like $500 to $700 to get a unit shipped to my front door. Doesn't matter if it's a tiny little pop-up or one of these big giant fifth wheels. My hometown store has a great advantage in that we just don't eat really heavy-duty freight charges. But as you start adding miles to that equation, it starts changing rapidly. So I said, okay, same unit, what if we had that delivered to one of our Nebraska stores? He goes, oh, okay, well, that's starting to look like 1,500-ish, give or take. I said, all right. And then I had him kind of continue the equation out, and like our Idaho stores could be over $4,500 per unit delivered. And that can be even more drastic because you start going even further west, like our Oregon stores could very quickly be over $5,000 of just shipping for the exact same unit to get there. But that's another thing that really kind of skews the pricing vectors. You don't usually see the exact same unit in the Midwest versus out west. Now, what I mean by that is not that like the same unit's not necessarily available across the nation. It's that people camp differently in different regions of the country, and they need their RVs equipped differently. For instance, over here in the Midwest, there's certainly people that boondock dry camp, but there's, especially like around my area here in southern Michigan, there's just such a high concentration of RV parks that we don't tend to need big like off-grid solar packages and generators and things like that. Whereas you start, moving into the more less densely populated, states in the nation, and suddenly boondocking and, dry camping, whatever you want to call it, camping untethered and unhooked, starts to become a more and more common thing. Those people need more specific hardware to be able to, camp in that kind of situation and environment. Something like a generator can easily run $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, maybe more. And keep in mind, all these figures that I'm winging at you right here today, it's all relative to the date that this video was posted. Like, if fuel costs go up, these estimated shipping costs will go up. If hardware costs go up, the cost of that generator might go up. Even a modest solar package could be a few hundred to a few $1,000s, and some of those more advanced big fifth wheel max solar packages, those are multiple thousands of dollars. So the exact same fifth wheel shipped to my hometown store with Midwestern equipment versus the exact same fifth wheel shipped to one of our Western stores built for heavy duty, high frequency off-grid boondocking could vary $10,000 to $15,000. But the problem is, like, if you're just shopping on RV Trader and you just type, that Eagle 321 RSTS or whatever floor plan you're searching for, that's just the one I'm using for this demonstration. You just look at it and go, golly, why are these things like $20,000 different? Well, that's a big reason why. But there's one other major influencing factor that isn't quite as obvious because, like, you can't boil it down to something like there's not a line for it on an invoice, like fuel surcharge, shipping, a solar package, a generator. I can show you the item and the cost of that. Like, that's very obvious. Something that's less obvious is the cost of living and how it can vary in different regions. Like, once again, here in my sleepy little southern Michigan town, We have pretty low average per capita incomes in this area, but we have a very low cost of living as well. Stuff just doesn't cost as much around here, so if you don't make as much, it doesn't matter. You can still, get by and be just fine. You start getting into some areas of the country, and again, a gallon of milk, Band-Aids, simple basic items start costing more, but often in those areas you have higher incomes to help offset that. Well, in those areas that have higher cost of living, you also tend to see higher price tags across the board. So it's, again, it's one of those things that there's a ton of different factors influencing this. And I suppose at the same time, unintentionally, I'm also answering the question, hey Josh, why don't you ever put your prices in your videos? Because basically, there is no way to share a price for one RV in one video that could vary so greatly across all of our different locations around the nation. Even MSRP could be drastically different in different areas. Not to mention, something people don't realize is that even things like MSRP are very liquid. They're not very static. They change regularly. Even if the RV is equipped exactly like it was in the video, manufacturer's pricing changes regularly. So the only way, you also don't realize how many people watch my videos long after they were published, not just at the time they were published. And not everyone is like a YouTube wizard, and not everybody realizes where you can check the posting date. People interpret things they see online as very recent and they happen just now. Well, as a result, if there was a price listed in a video from a year and a half ago, that sets someone's expectations. Then they come visit one of our stores and they feel like they're getting hit by a bait and switch because stuff has changed since then. Or they watched a video of me recording something here in southern Michigan and they're buying it out west and they don't understand why it's suddenly $5,000 more. That person tends to be not happy with us. They tend to like to leave us little nasty grams on things like Google reviews, and I just can't have that. So what I have done, and the best system I've ever found, and I will keep doing it until I can find something better, is I leave you a link in the video description of every video where you can always check current pricing and availability. So if you watch a 3-year-old video, that same link will bump you to our website where you can see current pricing without needing to call and give us your grandmother's maiden name and social security number and all that stuff. Current pricing and availability for anything in stock will always be right there for you, and that's the best method I've been able to come up with so far. So if you appreciate how we continue to take the time to provide just base educational videos like this, because what I've shared today here, this is true whether you buy from Bish's or not. Any retailer who has any RV dealership across the nation, the further they are from a manufacturer, the more shipping they incur. And if they have multiple locations across the nation, they're gonna build equipment or RVs differently with different equipment to suit different local buyers. All that stuff changes price tags, and it can change by multiple thousands of dollars. That's true whether you buy from us or not. This is just handy information if you're considering shopping, or if you've ever just wondered why the prices are so crazy. I want to take some time to put that together. And if you like how we keep doing this for you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like our video if you're a regular returning member of the RV Nerd Herd. And any other questions like this you have, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll do my best to fill it in. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.